right, gang, we're on the bench today. Jarvine Riffle, and what is it, and what does it do, and why did I put it in the mini monster? And I'm just going to make a quick video on discussing that. As you can see, I have it installed. It's into this back bracket. I have the top box. I took the top box off the mini monster. This is called a Jarvine Riffle, and then I got a clamp, and then it goes down into the matting. I've been waiting on this from Adventures in Gold Prospecting out of Canada, and they sent me 2 pieces of Jarvine Riffle. This one has a higher riffles in it. This one's more shallow, but I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to explain to you guys what exactly this is, what it does, and why did I put it in the mini monster. All right, gang, so anyone who understands fluid dynamics, hydrodynamics, and how that plays into us prospecting and capturing gold, when you're dealing with high pressure systems like a high banker or a dredge system, something that's really pushing the material through the sluice box, very, very fine gold that's flat. When you look at it under a magnifying glass, it's very flat and it's small. What happens with that is when you're rushing water down through a sluice, it tends to act like a sail on a sailboat or a kite in the wind, and it never has a chance to actually fall out of the water into the riffles, and it'll basically go out the end of your sluice box. Dream Mat alone, especially the combo mat now they got going on, does an exceptional job at capturing fine gold, as does the matting. The new improved mat that comes with the Gold Fox does an exceptional job at capturing the fine gold. But what happens with that, before you get into the Jarvine Riffle, and I'll just pull this out for now. So what happens with that is the water's coming through, and it's coming at such a velocity onto this back slick plate right here, and it hits this matting that gold is kiting in the wind, basically, out the end of the sluice box. Now, I would say my gold loss is identical on both this mat and the Gold Fox mat, and I would say I'm around 95% capture rate. What a Jarvine Riffle does is it breaks down, and this is perforated plate, as you can see, and this one's shallower, this one's steeper. So he sent me both plates to play with. And then we have V matting, and then we have miner's moss. So what a person could do is they could just put the V matting under here, put the Jarvine Riffle in, clamp down on top of that, or you could do just miner's moss or do both. Miner's moss, V matting underneath, and then the Jarvine Riffle under that. Slides down into the back plate, clamps down. He sent me the clamp, the pieces to make this happen. So what this does is basically stops the water from just, in the material, from just skating down the mat, and it breaks it up, but it acts like a fluid bed. And if you don't know what a fluid bed is, or a fluid bed sluice for gold prospecting, look that up on Google. But basically what this does is acts like a fluid bed before the material comes into here. A good portion of the capture rate is going to be underneath this Jarvine Riffle, and that's the best way I can probably describe it. Is it basically acts like a fluid bed. Now, you wouldn't want to put this in a river sluice, but in a high banker, a dredge, something like that, having a Jarvine Riffle. And I will say this, a lot of high bankers and dredges have a flat punch plate. It's flat on top of miner's moss or carpeting or whatever. But this right here, this design right here, makes a difference. And it allows all that fine stuff to fall out and gives it a chance to fall out before getting into the rushing water material down here. The peaks and valleys of the riffles, nugget catch built in, allows the fine gold to fall through, but we're looking at 100% capture rate. And now, like I said, the Dream mat and the stock mat that comes, the improved Gold Fox mat, exceptional mats. Adding this to this, 100% capture rate. I mean, it's just, and when we're micro mining like we do, and on my video where, you know, I'm not pushing and going through large amounts of material. And a lot of guys who run big high bankers or big dredge systems, they're just blowing through material, getting to the bigger stuff. But their gold loss, you know, they're experiencing almost 10% losses by doing that. So this turns the mini monster into a mini beast, this right here. And this is a game changer for people like us. And it's that fine gold recovery, the stuff that's just super fine, but every piece makes a pile in our department. And then of course the clamp goes on there. I cut the clamp down to fit it, but you can see how it all goes in. Clamps down. Now the cleanup will be a little take a little longer because you have to remove the clamp to get to this, which I'm fine with, and here's why. Because of adding the Jarvine Riffle, or Jarvine Riffle, however it's pronounced, because of adding this, we could potentially go through several buckets of material before having to clean up. That's huge, because cleaning up between every bucket or every 2 buckets, no matter what, takes time. You have to stop the process, stop what you're doing, clean out, put back together, get up and running again, and then start running material. Anytime we can not have to clean up, and we're already not classifying, but then not having to do so many cleanups, less concentrates, more runtime equals more gold. That right there is a game changer. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to kind of cover that just on the bench, fooling around. I got the parts and pieces in. I'll play around with both the shallow and the steeper Jarvine Riffle. He sent this other clamp too, in case I didn't have a clamp in the back. I did cut down the combo mat from Dream Mat to fit. I don't know if I want to cut down the stock matting from Gold Fox. If I were to cut this down, the stock matting from Gold Fox, I would probably, more than likely, keep this back end. I'll probably keep this part of it with the grizzly bar trap and the nugget trap and keep this run. I'll probably cut this section off to fit it. Probably have to cut about so much of this off, but I'll probably cut this bottom part off and leave this in here and this in here, and then I can dump this out. And then you can see I'll probably do it like that and clamp that down. So we keep this section right here up to about right in here somewhere. Yeah, I'd probably keep this section right here and just cut the bottom half of this off, and then of course the green flare mat in the bottom. But this is game changing. This is adding this game changing. And if I had a bigger high banker or a sluice box, or not a sluice box, but a dredge, that's money, because you can just sit there and run material, and you're not having to worry about loading all of this up. Your capture rate over 90% is going to be right under here, and anything else, not a problem. But yeah, anyway, guys, appreciate you taking a look at this video on a Jarvine Riffle, what it is, what it does. You see I was cutting it down, but yeah, I can't wait to get this the mini beast out back onto the claims. We're going to go up to some new property here, and then probably the next video, and we're going to go scope that out, and I'll bring this with, and yeah, that's money. Anyway, guys, we'll get back with you.